Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. We're in the last month of 2022. Hard to believe, but here we are. So we have a few things happening this week. We have a full emotional channel that's going to be activated by the Earth moving into the gate 35. So that will connect with the gate 36. Neptune is in the gate 36. It's been in there for the most of the whole, well, pretty much the whole year. So it's going to give us a full emotional channel globally. And this channel will be a channel of experiential energy, and it really connects to this idea of we're manifesting experiences in our lives. Now, with Neptune there, we may not always know what we're going to get, so that's something to keep in mind. It can be a time when a lot of people are planning for vacations that they want to take. A lot of people like to go away during the holiday if possible, or it might be the idea that you're planning for next year. The key with this energy is to see that things may not play out exactly as you expect them to. So holding your expectations loosely might be worth your while, because we're going to have this activation of the full emotional channel, the 35-36, right until December 21st, because as soon as the sun moves out, we're going to have Mars retrograde back into the gate 35. Mars will move in on the 6th of December. So that's when we might get even more energized to try and get something to happen, to get that big thing that we want to have happen, that big experience. And it can really kind of skew our belief on how things are going to play out. And so that's important to keep in mind, because if you blow something up as it's going to be the most incredible party, or it's going to be the most incredible something or other, sometimes there can be an expectation that is not realized. And if you keep it sort of moderated, then you can accept things for how they are, as opposed to the expectation that comes with the energy of the gate 35. We could say that all abstract energy has expectation built within it, but the gate 35 is kind of the master of expecting things to happen a certain way. So with that said, let's get into the transits and talk about what we can expect this week. On December 3rd, we have the sun moving from the gate 9 into the gate 5. And it's interesting because these two gates are connected and they have the flow of energy for logical energy. So we have the gate 9 deciding what kind of pattern you want to bring forward in your life, the changes you want to make. And then the gate 5 comes in and says, let's fix on those patterns and make this a real part of your life. So it's a really nice flow of energy that says, first do this and then do that. And the Earth is also going to move into the gate 35, like I said, and that's bringing abstract collective energy and an emotional wave. And this is called the channel of transitoriness. So it's this idea of always wanting to have a new experience in our lives. And experience is the human way. It's only by experiences that we differentiate ourselves from any other creatures in the world, because an experience is something that we are actively seeking and wanting to learn from, and then moving on to something new. If we look at the gate 5, this is fixed patterns, and it's half of the 515 channel. And that channel is quite powerful in that this is talking about the flow of life and the universal flow of life, but also that we all have our own personal flow. And when they all come together, this is the aura or the global flow of life. The interesting thing about the gate 5 is that we know that all gates have different expressions when they're hanging or when they're not in a quantum, or basically it's half of a channel. But with the 515, it's quite different, because the hanging gates 5 and 15 act quite differently when they don't have a connection with the other harmonic. The 515 channel is a fixed pattern with a fixed rhythm and flow, but with a hanging gate 5 or 15, we could describe it as you're always open to the possibilities of either having the pattern operate through different rhythms, or the rhythm to be fixed by different patterns. And out of that comes the idea of extremism, diversity, and the flow of all possibilities of all different patterns and rhythms. And that's how Ra Uru described it. So the gate 5 is where we fix on a pattern that we want to bring to mastery, because logic is always about mastering something. It's also where you're going to make an internal schedule based on your own inner flow. That's important to remember, that this energy is not about being fixed according to other people. This is about being fixed according to the flow of your body. And it's not even connected to your mind. It's connected to feeling into the energy and what feels right for you. This is what your body tells you. It's also tantric energy, and it's the higher version of loving humanity, with the sentiment being that we're all in this together. On its own, the gate 5 is to help us become masters. If we think about the talent of the 3536, because that is going to be activated as well, that channel, we can see that as having a talent for experiences, going through experiences, learning from the experiences, and sharing it with other people. What happens with that type of energy is you have one experience and then it's over. And then you go on to something new. And that's generally how that energy works. But when we move to the energy of logic, and especially with the gate 5, where it starts to fix us in the patterns, this is where we have hours and hours of work that we put into our craft. And that's the line of talent, which we have the 1648. The gate 5 is really important in that it is this override that says, yes, it's always important to have practice, working, and getting better and better, but we also have physical needs. And this is reminding us that, yes, you can work really hard on whatever you're doing. Yes, you can get better and better and better, but you can't do it 24/7. We all have limitations. Our bodies need rest, they need food, they need all the things, even some entertainment. That's part of life. So it takes time to have a mastery, and that's okay. So this energy is just reminding you to take time for the rest and to be in the flow of what your body is telling you. What do you need in this moment? Do you need to sit down and watch a show, or do you need to get working a little bit more? I mean, your body will tell you. And right now, with the busyness that we just experienced, it was easy to go beyond your capabilities and burn yourself out. Now this is saying, okay, connect with your body, get in the flow, and from that, you will know how you're supposed to move forward. This is also a time where sometimes we have to wait for the things to line up, especially with Mars retrograde, because things aren't moving as fast as they normally do. We don't have the momentum. So this is important to keep in mind that, yes, things are still happening behind the scenes. Just because you can't see it happening doesn't mean it isn't happening. And as I said, the Earth is moving into the gate 35, and this is where we're grounding into progress. Now, if you look at the gate 35 compared to the gate 5, this is saying that, yes, you can be a master. Yes, you can do things over and again, and eventually you can become what you want to be, but you also need to experience life as it is as well. So if we look at logic as being the patterns that we do to decide on where we want to go in the future, it's like a predictive program. Until we run the program in the real world, we will never know how it feels. And the gate 35 is showing us that sometimes we need to stop and just experience life, go out in the park, enjoy a nice meal, or just do something where you're actually feeling into the experience of being alive. This is cyclical energy, so there's a beginning, a middle, and an ending, which means that when you begin an experience, you're encouraged to try and make it through to the end. Because if you don't complete it, there's always a sense of missing out on something and wondering what would have been had you continued on with that experience. So that's just one more reason why it's really prudent to commit to whatever experience you decide to take on. With the 3536 channel activated, it might be an opportunity for us to have glimpses of what Neptune's been working on and veiling in the gate 36, because that's what Neptune does. It hides and it dissolves, and we can't really see what's actually happening. But when we have this full channel activated, there's potential for us to see something that has been hidden. So hidden chaos or places of crisis. This is also called inexperience, because that's what the gate 36 is. It's inexperience that moves to progress or experience. So we might see things come to light both in your life or even globally. And with Mars later on in the week, this might be jumping into something because it looks good, but you haven't really done the research. So research and being discerning about where you're going to place your energy and the experiences that you're going to have might work to your advantage. No matter what happens, the activation of the 3536 channel can lead to many exciting adventures and a wealth of experience. And of course, because of the nature of experimentation, not all experiences will work out exactly as you planned, yet there's always something to learn. Remember that the journey is as important as the destination, and being open to things not always going exactly as planned can reduce the potential for disappointments. Basically, holding loosely to how experiences will play out in your life may be an excellent plan going forward. Well, that's it for the energy update. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back very soon with lots more information about what to expect going forward into December. And Until then, take care, and I'll see you again soon.